Welcome to Celestial Astrology. I'm Sonia, and this is an Astro Mindfulness practice for the second Decan of Virgo. This is a place of cultivation, refinement, skill, and quiet self-sufficiency. You can return to this meditation whenever you're working towards improvements, tending something slowly over time, or feeling the pressure of perfectionism, overthinking, hypervigilance. It is especially supportive when you need to reconnect with steady effort rather than urgency. It is useful for those with placements in the Decan of Virgo II, which is the middle degrees, anything from 10 degrees to 1959. And an astrologer or astro coach can help you if you're not sure. And it's most important if this is your sun, moon, or rising sign, and also if you have a significant transit in this Decan. For example, your solar return ascendant or your Lord of the Year is Mercury. So you might want to make yourself comfortable. You might sit upright on a chair or sit on the floor or lie down if you prefer, keeping the spine comfortably aligned. Allow your hands to rest somewhere natural. If at any point your mind wanders, simply return your attention to your breath and the sensations in your body and bring your awareness back to my voice. And know that this is perfectly normal. There's no marks out of 10 for practicing mindfulness, and it is always a practice. So the more times that you notice that your attention has wandered and bring it back to the breath, that is what the practice is all about. There's nothing to achieve here. This is about remembering your own personal rhythm. And so I invite you to settle yourself into the stillness of the present moment. Get yourself comfortable, whether you're deciding to sit, lie down, or you may prefer to walk while you do this practice. Begin by noticing where your body meets the surface beneath you. You might feel the weight of your feet pressing into the ground, making that connection. Feel the support beneath your hips, the length of your spine rising gently upwards. Allow your jaw to soften, your neck to soften, your shoulders. As you exhale, release any tension that you're holding from your day, your week, your month. You don't need to carry it with you anymore. Now bring your attention to your breathing. Can you trace the path of your breath through your body? Where does it enter your body? Maybe it's through the tip of your nose. And then does it reach the back of your mouth and travel down your neck and throat, into your chest, into your heart center, your lungs? Does it go deeper down to your diaphragm and your abdomen? Is there a pause before you breathe out? Notice everything you can about your breathing. Allow the breath to deepen naturally, without forcing it. Notice the simple reliability of it. In and out. Steady, patient rhythm. And as you do, notice if there's one place where you feel the intensity of the breath more than any other place. Maybe it is at the tip of your nose, the back of your mouth, your neck and throat, your chest, your heart center, your lungs, your diaphragm, your abdomen. Maybe it's somewhere else. It doesn't matter where it is, but now just bring your attention to that place that's unique to you. And notice the breath entering and leaving just that place. In mindfulness, we call this place the mindful anchor. The mindful anchor is always with you. You don't have to remember to take it with you. And at any point in your day, if you need to take a time out, take a moment to yourself, you can just breathe into your mindful anchor consciously for 1 breath or 3 breaths, 10, however many you've got time for, and your body will know what to do. The more you practice breathing into your mindful anchor, the more your body understands the mission. So throughout the practice, keep returning to your mindful anchor. Especially if you notice your thoughts wandering, just return to your mindful anchor and then return to the visualization. And as we prepare, acknowledge to yourself that there's nothing to do right now. You have time. You can move carefully. There's nowhere for you to be, nothing for you to do than to stay with your breath. Now join me in a visualization. Imagine that you're walking down a narrow country path in the early afternoon. You feel the sun on your skin. It's bright, but it's gentle. You're not too hot, not too warm, not cold. Engage your senses and notice, what do you see? What do you smell? Maybe the air carries the scent of dry grass and warm soil. How does it feel underfoot? Maybe you feel your feet pressing into the earth with a firm, grounded resistance. As you walk, maybe you can imagine each step being mindful and deliberate. To your left, there's a low stone wall stretching ahead. You can see how time has aged it. Reach out your hands and let your fingers trace along the wall. How does it feel? Ahead, you see a gate resting slightly open. You know that you're invited in. You don't have any hesitation when you reach it. You push it further open and step inside. You know that you are welcome here. And as you step over this threshold, it feels like the world shifts. You see a walled garden unfolding before you. There's rows of vegetables growing in thoughtful alignment. Take everything in. It's a feast for the senses. Your eyes, your ears, your nose. You see fruit trees holding their branches steady beneath the weight of ripening harvest. You see grapes growing on the vine. You can hear bees humming between blossoms. Reach down and touch the soil. It feels fertile, dark and crumbly, rich with seasons of care. Walk slowly along the narrow path and you're greeted by many different plants. You meet with rosemary and thyme, releasing sharp fragrance into the air as you trace your fingers across them. Notice the subtle differences between each plant. Some leaves might be darker, some edges might be slightly uneven, some fruit on the trees larger than others. You notice all of this, and yet you see that everything is thriving, doing well, happy with its neighbour. This garden has been carefully planned and cultivated. And as you reflect on how well everything is matched and paired, you feel the hand of Mercury in this place, in the careful spacing of seeds, how you notice the small imbalances, the quiet adjustments that maybe have been made before problems have grown. And just as you notice how mercurial it all feels, some questions arise in your mind that are a gift from Mercury. Mercury wants to know, where in your life would careful observation help you more than immediate action? What small refinement could you make that would bring you greater harmony? Allow these questions to sit. An answer might not come straight away. You might receive an answer in symbols or images, in music, from a song. It may come to you later in your day or in your dreams, and that's all okay. When you're ready, you continue walking deeper into the garden. And as you do, a sound reaches you. There's a steady rhythm, and it sounds metallic. You start to follow this sound until you find a small workshop built into the garden wall. The door is ajar, and again you know that you are welcome to step inside. And as you do, you realise that both the garden and this workshop is all yours. This is all your inner mind. It's your space to learn and grow. And this is why it feels familiar. As your eyes adjust to the light, you smell the faint scent of iron and smoke. And you start to see from the light that's filtering in through the high windows that at the centre stands an old anvil, aged through the years. You walk over to this work desk. You see a piece of metal glowing faintly in the forge. You pick up the hammer, feeling its weight in your hand, and how naturally the shape of it fits your hand. It's balanced and it's purposeful. There are tools to pick up the warmed metal and place it on the anvil. You pause at first. You're not sure, but then you strike it with the hammer. And the sound rings clearly through the workshop and reverberates through your body. And again, you want to strike it. Each strike alters the shape slightly. You learn that you can adjust your angle, your pressure, and your timing as you begin to refine your skill. And as you continue with this action, with this creating and transferring of form from the warm metal into something else that only you know what you intend it to be, you feel Saturn's presence. Steady, teaching and guiding, nodding at your willingness to repeat, respecting your patience to shape gradually through your effort. Saturn offers you some questions. Where in your life are you also committing to steady effort rather than chasing quick results? Where has your self-criticism been louder than your discipline? What are you building that requires endurance? You continue striking and shaping until your desired form begins to emerge. Until you are happy with what you have created from that warm metal. You notice that it is not flawless, but it is strong and it will fulfill its purpose. When you feel happy with it, you set the hammer down and know that that work for today is complete. You take a breath as you turn and step back into the sunlight. The garden feels even warmer now, the sun on your skin. The colours feel sharper. There's more life in this garden. Almost like your work has been feeding it. Yet again, your attention is drawn to the small imperfections. Maybe you see a leaf torn slightly by the wind. Fruit all at varying stages of ripeness. Soil might be uneven in places. There might even be a weed growing that needs attention. and yet the garden is abundant and thriving. So joyful and offering so much pleasure. You sense the presence of Venus moving quietly here, offering the pleasure of the ripe fruit, the joy of the warmth of the sun on the skin, the satisfaction of the work well done, and the rest that you can now take after it. You find yourself at a wooden bench underneath a pear tree. You look at your hands and see the dappled light falling across them. Then you notice a small table beside the bench that you didn't see before. There's some refreshments there, some cool water, and some grapes from the vines. You taste the grapes, feel their warmth, and the intensity of their flavour. You drink the refreshing water and notice the quiet contentment in your body. And as you relax on this bench in the dappled sun, having refreshed yourself after your work, questions arise that you understand have come from Venus. Questions from Venus arise in your mind. How do you allow yourself to enjoy what you have cultivated? Where have you withheld appreciation from yourself? What does enough feel like in your body? Keep breathing into your mindful anchor and feel the steadiness in your chest as you allow these questions to linger in your mind. And when you feel fully rested, you stand and walk again along the inner wall of the garden, running your fingers across the sun-warmed stone. Maybe your attention is drawn to small cracks that will need tending one day, but you also notice areas that are solid and strong. And you reflect on how maintenance is so necessary as ongoing care. Maybe you see a vine that needs a small adjustment, allowing it to climb further. Maybe there's some soil that needs to be brushed gently back that has been disturbed by an animal. Just making small corrections and thoughtful gestures as you move along. You're beginning to understand that you're not aiming for perfection, but maintenance, health, integrity, sustainability. And as that insight settles with you, you ask yourself if the refinements that you make in your life could be more gentle. Do you sometimes judge yourself harshly when steady care could be more appropriate? And you feel something soften inside you. You've found yourself back at the gate now, and so you return back to the country lane, leaving the garden behind, but knowing that this is your unique place and you can return any time you need to. The sun is starting to set, and as you walk down the lane, it begins to slowly fade as the noises of the room that you're in begin to return to your awareness and your attention. You're aware again of the sensations of your body in the room, the surfaces that your body is making connections with. You feel your feet on the ground. You feel your spine upright. Notice how you feel now. Has there been a shift? Do you feel more grounded, capable, and less urgent? Continue to breathe into your mindful anchor. And as you inhale, know that you can grow gradually. You can refine patiently. And you can appreciate what you have built. And as you exhale, release any resistance to this. As you inhale, know that you can grow gradually. You can refine patiently. And you can appreciate what you have built. And as you exhale, release any resistance to this. Take one last inhale, knowing that you can grow gradually, you can refine patiently, and you can appreciate what you have built. And one last exhale, releasing any resistance to this. And when you are ready, gently open your eyes if you close them. Reach out your arms, wiggle your fingers. Stretch your legs, wiggle your toes. Carry the steadiness of the garden and the quiet skill of the forge, and the things that you've learnt here into the rest of the day and your time going forwards. Thank you for joining me. I hope you found this useful. Travel well, friends.